Okay, so that's just rotating. Let me grab this before it dies. Okay, so that's just failed, and that was something that was, you know, when it happens, it's pretty annoying. So let's just go back and look at this. Now, the heap size with the G1, like the old school G1, we still had 16 meg of heap, and on the Nexus one we had 24 meg, and on the Nexus S I think it's 32 meg. So why is the phone crashing when the heap size says 5.2 meg, which is, and that was what I said before, that bitmaps are allocated outside the VM, so they're there, but you just can't see them using this tool. So that's a little bit annoying. So that's that. If we go, if I just run that again. And try and catch this before it dies. Oh. Hang on a second. Okay. So when you hit this cylinder with the red down arrow, that's the thing that creates this HProf, so heap profile dump. And until you have the memory analyzer tool, the plugin installed, you won't be able to do much with this unless you have like an external memory analyzer tool. When you click delete suspects report, this brings up this this kind of histogram that shows, or pie chart and histogram, which is supposed to show which is the potential culprit. Now, I have to say, this was a bit of a mystery to me. Like, I didn't find this that useful at all. Like, if I go to the histogram and it comes in here, particularly with bitmaps, because like, I don't even know whether this is part of it or, you know, I suppose I was going to say was that the way that I ended up solving this was to step through the code and, you know, try pointing things out and that kind of thing until I found the actual things that are responsible, simply because I didn't find this that useful. Has anyone else had a different experience with this that wants to talk about this stuff?
I can confirm your experience. I found that extremely unhelpful.
Yeah. Are you going to say something, Dan?
Yeah, I've experienced this stuff as well, and yeah, generally it's a bit of black magic or yeah, you don't have the best vision, but you know, reading up on these kind of problems in Android, you can sort of infer what the problem is just by, you know, I've got this symptom and I'm trying to do this kind of stuff. So, and then you find sort of best practices and stuff like that. But because of the versions and these best practices changing or the problems getting fixed, it gets complicated.
Yeah, so I guess that was just kind of briefly the way that. The other thing that I want to mention was, so in the activity you have this on low memory warning or something similar to that method within the activity, but it never worked because again, because bitmaps are not allocated in that way. So I was overriding that. I'm like, well, where's my warning? Where's my warning? And I'll do something about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like the same kind of thing. That's why I ended up doing what I did was I Googled and like finally finding that the only thing I could find to give me any kind of visibility of what on earth was going on was a static method on the debug class which tells you the whole heap size, but even then you've got to put your log statement in the right spot to be able to see where you're suddenly allocating a whole bunch of memory because it's all hidden from you.
Yeah, right. So that's like that was pretty much it. Like I just wanted to, I guess, show you that so that when you have to do it yourselves, it's not going to take you like a couple hours. Hopefully it'll just take you a few minutes, and you can grab that repository that I sent around earlier, and yeah, go for it. So that was pretty much it. Any questions on what we've covered?
Have you experienced the bitmap problem with animations?
I was actually working on animation when this thing popped up.
Yeah. Like
and-
using animation views or animation drawables. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that it was because the animation was too big, and actually it was we had a memory leak somewhere else or something like that. It was not the portal animation was not causing it. You had similar.
Yeah. So I've got an app that uses a lot of animation drawables. And you sort of hit the screen to do it or shake or whatever, and this would pop up, and you find then you can dig around and find the solution if you're just using a single bitmap. But animation drawables is sort of internally using lots of bitmaps, right? And so it seems that it's not itself using recycle very well.
One question I had for you, with your animation drawable, did you ever find that the first time you loaded it, it ran smoothly, and then the second time it sped up? Like, if you hit refresh or something like that, and it ran again, did you ever find that it sped up?
Didn't really notice that. I mean, I had that old problem of animations not even wanting to run when you first create your activities and all of that.
Right.
That's another issue.
Yep.
But a speed boost from running it again, none. I mean, maybe it's there, but I just didn't notice it. Because these were running through small animations that ran quickly anyway.
Yeah. Just out of interest, do you remember what your framework was? Like it's actually the other way around. It's seconds per image, right? For each.
Yeah. I mean, what I was specifying in the XML.
In XML.
It'd probably be, wasn't too fast, but probably something like a frame per half a second or maybe a little less or something like that.
So like 500 milliseconds.
Yeah, possibly something like that. So I can dig that stuff up.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, I digress. I was just interested to know because I have to work on that stuff, and it was so annoying because it literally came about when this other bitmap stuff came about as well. So I was like, it must be that its fault, but it wasn't in the end.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yep.
Have you done much with using the tags on the views when they get when they get reused? Because that's something I was going to do, but when I looked at the example by the Google guys, to be honest, I read their code and I couldn't understand how it works. Either they had a typo or I was just being convinced.
Okay, so let's just have a look at it.
So for instance, when you set a tag and you were checking for that tag.
Yep.
So
the tag.
So do you stash the bitmap in the tag?
No way. So the tag. So let me go down to the bottom here. This class, where are we? Where did I put it? Oh, this is it here. See this private static class view holder. So all this does is it keeps a reference to your layout, so that you don't have to inflate a layout every time for every cell. So it allows you to keep a reference to your image view, to your text view, whatever else you have inside a view. You then still set the bitmap, the string, any other data on each time the view is passed back.
So if one of your items is actually quite a complicated set of views, not just like an image view.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, so the stuff that I've worked on recently has heaps and heaps of stuff. On each view has like a lot of things. In fact, let me just show you one thing. So.
But I think generally the tags are used for tracking what item in the list you're getting back.
Yeah, like if you had like a heterogeneous set of
it's because you've got this sliding box going through the list, but they're recycling the list views. So you might get a list view back thinking that it's the next one up, but it's recycled. So you I was using tags to audit, what's going on with the list views in a way, and the list items. I think that's generally how they're being used with list views.
Because that's the bit I didn't understand, because I thought that you could use them to basically save the work. I think I understand partly now, because my case is so simple that all I have is an image view.
Right.
So the only thing I care about is the bitmap in the image view.
That's right.
But I can now understand why you would want to do it if you had a really complicated set, or even a fair few
Yeah.
different views for each item, then you don't want to have to keep reframing every time. So that makes more sense to me now. If my use case was too simple, all I want to do is have a quick way to get back to the bitmap.
Right. So this example here is one view. So everything between from this green down to here is just one view. So in the view holder for that, I've got a reference to an image view, another image view, 3 text views, image view, and then a linear layout with 2 text views inside it, and then another text view. So rather than inflating a view every time, we just keep a reference to a view that has a reference to those subviews, and then we just change the data on each one using that view holder. Yeah. This one's actually super. So that going back to this code here, this bit here, like where you've got this view holder, you inflate the view, you create one view holder, and inside that you have references to each of the subviews. This is a really important pattern to understand because it has to be. Sorry, you're going to say something?
Sorry, I was going to also mention for certain list views you can have the list containing different view types. So in there, one process, you've got to be very careful to check that the convert view is the same type as what you're planning to convert it to. Does that make sense?
Right. So you've had.
So you've got a list view with, say, a layout view for a complicated item, and then a text view which is just a simple text view.
Right.
So you've got to make sure that the convert view that you're getting in is the same type as what you're trying to convert it to for that position.
Right. Okay. So you have. So you said you've got sections in there. Okay. So yeah, for that we use a section adapter. So.
Oh, okay.
So we never have to worry about. But yeah, you're right. Totally right. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thanks very much for that. Thanks for listening.